physical when I'm lyrical. So bat it down with medical, something critical. It's gonna take a miracle. Bright lights, something spiritual, written down like biblical. I finally reached the pinnacle. Yeah. Welcome to the house, the one they talking about. Word of mouth, the boxing playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about.
Bienvenido a Boxing Playhouse Latin America. Esta semana vamos a cambiar un poco la tema. Vamos a hablar un poco de música, de boxeo, de muchas cosas, ¿no? Pero la entrevista va a ser en Spanglish, en inglés y en español, ¿ok? Primero que nada, quiero darle muchas gracias a la gente que lo está mirando aquí en la emisora, en el programa de nosotros. Hoy tenemos el honor para tener un cantante que se llama K7. Vamos a tener a Joe Cortez y vamos a tener a el Maestro Sosa. This week, we're going to do Boxing Playhouse Latin America in English and Spanglish. We're going to have Joe Cortez, we have the Maestro Ray Sosa, and then we have none other, the one and only Mr. K7, Mr. House Music, freestyle man himself. K7 in the house with us, talking boxing, music, sports, a little bit of everything. What's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
How you doing?
How you doing, Mr. K?
How you feel? I'm good.
Hey, man, I remember when I was back in the hood, back in the Bronx, in Cortez and Kingsbridge, you know, dancing to your music in the club. But we're going to get into that in a minute, man. How you doing, Mr. Cortez?
Yeah, okay, everything going good. Everything going good, buddy.
All right. And Spanish Ray Sosa, what's good?
Uncle Joe, ¿cómo está?
All right. Todo bien por acá. Everything good, buddy.
Lucito.
What up, cuz?
Te quiero.
Love you too.
All right, my brother. Listen, we usually talk boxing. We usually talk a little bit of this and that. We want to start talking about you. Like, first and foremost, I want to hear some of those tunes. So, yo, Ray, can you throw something on there for us a little bit?
I'm saying.
Put it up.
That was that shit back in the day, boy.
It's still rocking in the clubs, man. I still hear it on the radio once in a while.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, real quick, we got a little quick message already on the boards. We said we got Chuck Mesner saying, "Hey, Joe, great to see you again." They like seeing Joe Cortez on the show with us, man. You hear that, Joe?
Well, I hear that. Well, you know, I'm getting old, but I'm still young. You know what I mean?
Happy birthday, right, Joe. Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, you just like a couple of years older. That's all. I still feel like a champ.
All right. So listen, man. I remember back in the day when I was in the club. I used to DJ back in the day as well, right? And I used to have some of your albums. And I'll be totally honest with you, before I moved to Colombia, my wife made me give away all my crates of records, and I had some of your albums in my records, man, in my crates, man.
Right,
you know, you have some serious hits. Even if when we watch your songs have been a part of movies, like introduction movies, the movie Mask and all that. How'd you get into the music business?
Honestly, that man right up on top right there. I grew up in Spanish Harlem, and I was one of those little kids on the street walking up and down, and you know, a couple of my friends, a good friend of me and Ray, who grew up with us, Spider, and I would sing songs in the neighborhood, and we had a choice back then of, you know, which road to take, whether to take the high road or whether to take the low road. And Ray was one of my mentors, and you know, back then, and the person who guided me in the right direction and made sure that I stood out of trouble, and that, you know, and that I went the right way. You know, he's not only my family, you know, he's always been like a father figure to me, and you know, and
whoa, big brother, big brother
figure, and you know, but I'm here because, you know, I had someone who cared enough to want to make sure that I did the right thing.
Okay. So you got into the music. Did you start off DJing? Did you start break dancing like I did? How'd you get into it? Like, bro, on some real stuff.
I used to walk around and follow Rocksteady for a while, you know, she put K9 down there. It's K7. She put K9. That's funny.
Hey, so you put K9. We gotta correct that.
I like K9. I like K9.
I used to follow Rocksteady around, and you know, I wanted to be a member of Rocksteady as a kid, and I used to go to Baby J and Roseland and listen to him play music, and Tony Torres, who used to be a DJ in Roseland back in the day, and those guys, you know, showed me what club music was really like. I really didn't like club music. I really wanted hip hop because hip hop talked to my soul. But I wasn't the greatest rapper in the world, you know what I mean? and luckily I had a pen that I could write songs with. So, you know, I started writing songs and started singing songs around the neighborhood with a couple of my friends, and it started popping for me.
Wow. So you still back up in New York, right? You still in the stomping grounds.
Yeah, I grew up in Spanish Harlem. I now live in Jersey, you know, within eye distance of, you know, Manhattan. So that keeps me grounded. I could see where I grew up and I walked around half my life.
All right, listen, I wanna chime in on Joe. Hey Joe, we only have you for a few minutes, man. So what's going on with you? What's life like for Joe Cortez?
I'm sorry, but could I interrupt real quick?
Sure.
Sir. Bendición primero, porque usted para mí es uno de los grandes. Yo he visto muchas peleas que usted tuvo y le quiero decir gracias porque you're part of my upbringing and my childhood, and thank you so much. And you made some of these fights hilarious to me. You know what I mean? Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, I'm here in Las Vegas, but I got going to the special event. We got to go to an event today. We're here at the a place that is it's a VIP event from my sister living. We have the sister living that I have a business that I have, and we have a business type of meeting today. So we have everybody, as you can see, everybody's coming in now. So we're getting ready for this event right now. So I'm gonna just have to tell you guys that, you know, always nice talking to you guys there. You know, being from my barrio myself in New York, and out here in the Sin City here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and the boxing capital of the world, having a good time here.
Hey, Kay, you know, hey Ray, hey Joe, can you tell him what the name of your assisted living facility is?
It's called La Mansión. La Mansión LV. You can look it up online, La Mansión LV, like Las Vegas. LaMansionLV.com. You guys can check it out. It's a high-end assisted living, and it's here in Las Vegas, and we have a lot of fun, and we have every so often we got to have these marketing meetings, and that's what we're doing here today. It's a big event here, and a big medical event. And they always want me to come up to these here people. Everybody wants to meet me, talk with me, and it's good. Keeps the business going, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Kay, you gotta see it, man. This dude it's an assisted living facility. It's a mansion, and he has a boxing memorabilia museum with a ring and everything, bro. It's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's separate from the assisted living. That's a separate gym. What it was a house I used to live in before, and we turned it into assisted living about 4 years ago. But I kept my gym private, away from the assisted living. But it's still my place. I like to go out and work out. It's a good place, and like I said, you know, it's we like to play forward. You know, making sure that the seniors are taken care of the right way. You know, one day everybody we're gonna get to that level. You're gonna need a nice place to live in, and this is a place to be. You look it up, La Mansión LV. It's a high end. It's like Ritz-Carlton type suites. Every suite in there is like a Ritz-Carlton suite.
Joe,
yeah.
Could I ask you a question? What made you start using your catchphrase all the time?
Fair but I'm firm. I
Yeah.
was doing an interview like this, like I am today, and they said, Joe, what does it take to be a good referee? I said, well, you gotta be fair with the fighter, but you gotta be firm at the same time, because that's why you know, to make a good referee, you gotta be fair, but you gotta be firm. Then when I saw the I when I saw the interview, I said to myself, well, you know, this is a good thing to you, a good catchphrase. The Mills Lance had his, let's get it on, and Mike Buffer had, let's get ready to rumble. I said, you know what, I'm gonna make mine. I'm fair, but I'm firm.
That's great. That's great.
And you know what, and man, you know, go back to my old neighborhood, 99th Street, where Minnie, your mother used to live at. I grew up with your mother in New York City, in El Barrio, 99th Street between Park and Madison. And I want to wish her well, happy birthday in heaven, and we miss her, we love her. She was the first Puerto Rican queen in the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York.
Wow.
Tell it, Joe. Tell it, Joe.
Wow.
Hey, Joe, it's not belated. Today's her birthday. Do you right on time?
Well, we say happy birthday for her, and you know, it's I think she was like maybe a year or two older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. You told me she was 12 and you were 17.
Yeah, well,
Stop lying.
I mean, when we grew up in the neighborhood, I mean, you know, when I first met your mom, I was about 12 years old. And then from then on, you know, for so many years, and then I moved out of the neighborhood when I was 21 when I got married, and we still staying in touch, and here we are now. You guys are taking over, and we're still talking about your mom. She was a great one.
She'll be happy. And so your wife is Sylvia, right? Sylvia?
That's right. That's my wife. Yeah, exactly.
Send her my best, man. Send her my best.
Buddy. I'm about to let you guys go. Take care, guys. God bless you always, and wishing you the very best. And you know, keep your guards up at all time. And all my fans out there, tell you guys, keep watching the fight. You got a big fight. You got Amanda Serrano fighting next week. It'll be a good fight. And, you know, she's one of my favorites because, I mean, I always stay away from fighters, but now that I'm retired, I love the sport and I like to watch great fighters, and she's one of the great ones. You know, people think that women in boxing, you know, it's a fluke, and it's not, because you got somebody, Amanda Serrano fought one of the best fights of the year last year, Madison Square Garden. She came to fight. She got a heart of a champion. She fights better than some of the men out there, let me tell you.
Joe, 3-minute rounds, Joe. 3-minute rounds this time. 3-minute rounds.
Yeah. 3-minute
rounds.
Yeah. Well, you know, they were 3-minute rounds before that. They cut it down to 2. But I remember with what's her name, Layla Ali and Christian Martin. They were fighting three. They were fighting 3-minute rounds back then. But then it went down to 2-minute rounds. But I think it's better than 3-minute rounds because, I mean, they're champion. They got it. They're in good condition. They can do it. You know, it's going to be an exciting fight watching Amanda Serrano fight next week.
Yeah.
Salute, Joe. Salute.
Have a great day. Have a great event, Mr. Cortez.
Okay, buddy. You guys take care. We'll see you guys soon, and God bless you all, okay?
Thank you. God bless you as well, sir.
Many more birthdays. Many more.
All right. Take care, guys. Keep your guys up at all times.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
What?
We got to make some comments here. We got Carmen LeBron who says what's up, Ray? Looking good, brother. Blessings, Rick LeBron. Boxing Playhouse. It says, sorry, I don't know what that's about. Ori Avila says, I like the Chambers Cortez, but he's off right now. I see you represented, champ. And then we have Alejandro Escobar saying, hola, saludos, everybody. And here's our other co-host, Angel Hidalgo, representing with I like that shirt. Let me see that shirt. Stand up a little bit. Okay. I like that. That's nice. So, okay. This is Angel Hidalgo. He's our other co-host.
Nice to meet you, bro.
I had to bow out for a little bit because we had Joe Cortez. We can't have too many faces on the screen, you know. Takes away from the whole view. So we had to give. I had to give it up to Joe. Uncle Joe is the best.
Yes, sir.
And happy belated birthday, Uncle Joe. You know he was dope.
Yeah. Hey, listen, K7's birthday was not too long ago too, August 25th.
Yeah.
Oh.
Happy birthday, boy.
Happy birthday, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. So let's chime in, yo. Listen, let's talk about this music, man. And let's talk about him being a fanatic of boxing. Because I remember, hey, Angel, remember when I used to DJ?
Of course.
I used to rock the music. I used to rock the songs.
Yeah, man. Back in like late 80s, early 90s.
Early 90s.
We'd throw like house parties and stuff. We'll charge people like $5 to walk in, and he'll pull out the freaking DJ equipment and stuff, and we start chopping it up. And absolutely, it was a mixture of hip hop, and freestyle.
Always.
For the Latin stuff, we'd go to like they'd have separate events, but like for a house party, it was normally hip hop and freestyle because that's what gets you going, the dance music and stuff. I feel that freestyle is this is a good question for you because did freestyle is like branch off of the hip hop because it's like dance music, but it's nothing like exactly rapping. It's singing, it's emotion, scars of love. You know, it's like
honestly, freestyle is all the b-boys that didn't make it. You know, we sped up most of the hip hop beats and started writing love songs over them. And you know, when we started, what was popping off was Force MDs singing ballads, and New Edition was already out and stuff like that. And
right.
And the stuff that was working in our neighborhoods in the Bronx and in Spanish Harlem, we were listening to Planet Patrol, Play at Your Own Risk, and we're going down to the clubs down in the Lower East Side. And what was playing in those clubs was dance music. So we wanted to find a way to fit in. And the only way that we could fit in was because we had no equipment or ways of making music. We would take the rap records like Love Rap and we would speed it up, or we take Apache and we speed it up to like 120 BPMs or 117 BPMs, beats per minute. And we would start writing these songs over it. And originally, freestyle is what was originally called Latin hip hop. Freestyles didn't have the name freestyle. Freestyle is what you do to this music. Freestyle is what you would do to dance music, right? So if you're dancing to like, I don't know, the Mexican, right? If you're dancing to the Mexican, you're freestyling. So that's how we got our name. But originally we were called Latin hip hop.
I'm pretty well versed in the hip hop game. My cousin used to be in the hip hop game back since 1977. He lived on Ford McCreston right there. I have pictures as a kid with Slick Rick and things like that, you know, when I was a young buck, right? And they used to call him Buck Knuckles. He used to make beats and all this stuff like that. And people misunderstand that hip hop, yeah, you know, it's thrived in a black culture, but it derived in the culture of skin color. You know, not only blacks, not only Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. It derived from all of that. It was a melting pot. You know what I mean?
It was a melting pot. And the thing is that here's the funniest thing. We as Boricuas, right? Since our parents came over here, we was always trying to fit in. They would separate us, but we grew up in communities where it was half Puerto Rican, half Hispanic, half black, right? So we'd grow up together. We were influencing each other with our food, with the food that we would cook, with the music that we would play. My mom was a big Stevie Wonder fan because of the fact that she grew up, you know, around people that played Stevie all the time. So she fell in love with Stevie, and she fell in love with, you know, the Temptations, and she fell in love with Nat King Cole and people like that because of the fact that she grew up around black people, right? And so on and so forth. There's black people that fell in love with Fania, with Hector Lavoe, with El Gran Combo, with, you know, Imael Miranda. And, right. And it's because of the fact that we were raised together. So when hip hop started, there were Latino rappers as well as there were black rappers. And some of the Latino rappers looked black because they were my skin complexion. So sometimes we have black in us. Right. And we have black in us. So sometimes you don't necessarily, not all of us would turn around and say we're Puerto Rican at the drop of a hat. I'm me. Let me just do what I do. Yeah. You know what I mean? There was people like Whip. There was people like Ruby D. There's, you know, there's Johnny D, who ends up being Mark Anthony's cousin, was part of a group called Mastodon and the Deaf Committee. And he grew up around our neighborhood in Spanish Harlem. Me in Spanish neighborhood in Spanish Harlem. fact, on 97th Street between Park and Madison. He grew up right there, and this is a guy who was one of the original MCs of hip hop back in the day, you know, and they're like unsung heroes that really don't get the shine. Charlie Chase, which I just finished talking to him like 3 hours ago, one of the first and greatest DJs of hip hop. Charlie Chase, Grand Wizard Theodore, Grandmaster Flash, and Kool Herc. You know, a Puerto Rican DJ.
Yeah.
Who led an all-black rap group, the greatest rap group, you know, of their time, which was the Cold Crush Brothers. So think about that. We've been pioneers within the sound of hip hop and within most of the sound of New York City for the past 50 years. So we've done our part. They try to sweep us under the rug, but we did our part. We put the building blocks to what hip hop is today.
Yes, sir. You know, I was telling some of my friends, one of my close friends, Ori Avila, embarrassing me right now. But back in the day, I became a boxer. You know, I was a boxer. I did boxing thing. But when I was younger and I hung around my cousin, I was all around these hip hop heads, Kid Capri. You know, I was real good friends with Big Pun and all that stuff like that. My whole thing is I wanted to be into hip hop. I used to rhyme, I used to freestyle. Ori just put up there, let's not forget you had a time when you used to be rapping Danny too and all that stuff. Like I used to always be freestyling as well, you know. The thing about it is that I used to go to the studio with them sometimes, you know, and Angel can attest, I never smoked cigarettes, I never did the weed thing. And every time you go to the studio and he start freestyling, they got the brew. You know, they got the blunt, you know, and I would just walk out the studio because I didn't want to be around that. So I kind of like
your eyes were itch.
Yeah, I had an allergy. Yeah, you know. I kind of like diverted away from it, and I just did with the boxing thing. But you know, getting back to what you were saying about the history of hip hop, you know, I was born and raised in the South Bronx. I lived on Kingsbridge, Cedric for many years. You know, Kingsbridge and Cedar was where hip hop was kind of like be told to where it originated and so on and so on, you know. But we have a couple comments here from Coach Lou Acevedo. Says, I lived in the South PJ for a bit, but I'm from 184th and Washington Ave. Music is in my blood. K7, thank you for your music. Spit that history, my brother. You know, and I love it, man. You know, because me as a former boxer, as a former, you know, whatever I did in boxing and growing up in the hip hop game, because my cousin been in the game since '77. You know what I mean? I remember. I look at these pictures and I remember being in the hallway with them while they were freestyling. You know, Eric B and Rakim, they were real cool with him. You know, and they came around from my neighborhood. You know, it's something that many of my friends don't even know that I grew up in that before I moved to Florida, right? But people misunderstand the fact that the Latin, and we're all mixed in some way, shape, or form. When you come from the island, you're mixed with, you know, people. It was funny. I got into arguing with some guy over racism, right? He called me a spick one time when I was younger. And I'm like, you know what spick means? And he was like, what? Yo, he was trying to use it in a derogatory manner. I'm like, spick means Spanish, Portuguese, Indian, and colored. You know what I mean? And then he looked at me like dumbfounded. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, the Puerto Rican culture, everything on the Caribbean has some type of influence when it comes to African American or you know, Taino Indian or whatever the case may be. But in saying that, referring to that, when it comes to music, hip hop is deeply embedded, and not only in African American situations, but also in the Latin culture, because we contributed a lot to it. And I'm glad you're here to attest to that.
Oh, we can talk about Bomba y Plena. What the guys were singing when they sing Bomba y Plena is pretty much a rap, you know.
Yes,
you know, and that derived from Caribbean. So when you look at reggae and when you look at what came out of Jamaica, when you look at what came out of Panama, we are all connected together. And, you know, that's just Caribbean music. That's who we are. Like the aguinaldos, the soneos. Those are raps. When the salseros go at each other with these soneos, where they're battling each other, you know, singing these songs, that's basically rapping. But
yes,
people don't like to say America did this wonderful thing. Wonderful, and I'm being sarcastic when I say wonderful. It's the worst thing that they ever did. But America did this thing that became like this disease that goes around the world, and it's called separatism. So they want you here, and they want this guy here, and they want that guy there, and they want to make sure that you feel different than this guy and feel different than that guy. And every once in a while, they want you to unite, but they like to keep us apart. And the one thing that they did once we got here, once Puerto Ricans came to America, right, and we are American citizens, they said, you're over here and the blacks are over there. They wanted us to clash. They wanted us to clash. They want us to clash with each other all the time. That's and I always see that. You look, I'm a dark-skinned Puerto Rican. There ain't more minority than me.
Yeah.
I'm double. You get what I'm
from
saying?
both sides.
Yeah, I could walk into Harlem. I could walk into Harlem and they leave me alone. I walk into a neighborhood and somebody's talking to me in Spanish. So I've always been able to walk the line. But I'll be honest with you, what I always notice is how quick people want to divide us, even in music. You know, American music, they didn't, in the 50s, they didn't like rock and roll. So rock and roll became one thing. Everybody started accepting rock and roll. So they had to make a different type of music so that, they do it all the time. Look, rock and roll is one thing. Rock and roll came out of black music. But as soon as hip hop came out, rock and roll embraced itself and said, oh, we're white music. No, you're not. White music was country music prior to rock and roll.
It's back.
History, teaching, knowledge. They
always try to spread us apart. They always try to put us in different corners against each other. I believe that because I'm so many things, I could do whatever I want to do. So if I wake up tomorrow and I want to do a rap record, then I could do a rap record. If I want to do a house record, then I could do a house record. If I want to wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden pretend that I'm Hector Lavoe and I want to start singing salsa, that's what I'm going to do, because I believe my mental state is I'm all things in one, so I can be all things to whoever I want it to be. And I think that we as Latinos should always want to branch out beyond what we do. It's kind of like boxing. A boxer masters a weight class, and then he'll go down to the next. Go down to try to win that belt in the lower weight class, and then try to come up to be a heavyweight. It's
challenge.
It's a challenge, and if you do it, then you're great. It shows your greatness.
I don't know if you know this. I'm gonna let them chime in a little bit. I'm gonna go with Angel first, and I'm gonna let Ray chime in a little bit because I know he's chomping at the bit. But I don't know if you know this, but Angel's dad had a salsa group, man. Angel, you want to let them know about this?
Yeah, that was my little chime in when you were naming off La Fania and this and that. I said Orquesta Hidalgo because that was my father's group. He cut a couple albums and stuff, and knew everybody. I grew up around Tito Nieves, and Tito Nieves used to come to my grandma's crib to eat and pick my father up and stuff. And grandma always fed Tito whenever he'd come by. He was from Brooklyn, and
Tito's a great guy who
his son passed away, which was sad stuff, but that was years ago. But I remember where all that happened, and my father was in the biz and stuff, so he cut a couple albums, and it's funny, we had just looking up stuff, and because my father used to write the songs and he owned the songs and whatnot at the time, and we looked up one of his songs, and it was a Japanese band from Japan that didn't speak English or nothing, and they were singing his song, performing it. You went to dancing and everything, and I was like, wow, that's how worldwide.
Is it Orquesta de la Luz? Is it Orquesta de la Luz?
Of course. Yeah. It wasn't Orquesta de la Luz performing it, but yes, but I do know Orquesta de la Luz. Yeah. Right. That's what I want to ask you. Like a lot of guys, guys groups, like La India. I think La India didn't La India start in freestyle.
La
And then,
India
and then
started.
go to salsa?
She
La
did.
India was the only female member ever of TKA.
Really?
Yep.
She's the
She was down with TKA?
yeah, and if
I didn't know that.
I think if you could if you Google it, you'll see a picture of the four of us with her.
I didn't know that. Wow.
In fact, on our first album, on Scars of Love, our first album, her vocals are on some of the tracks still. She's the only ever female member of TKA. What happened is she's so talented. She is like what you guys see. Let me tell you something. She could sing as good as Shaka Khan. She could compete with Whitney Houston. I'm telling you, you see what you see now is not even a quarter of her true vocal talent. She's always been there. There you go. There you go. That's me right next to her right there. So she's always been.
Shit.
She's always been a mega talent. We met her. The group started in Harlem, and right before we got signed to Tommy Boy, we started hanging out at the Devil's Nest, and there was a DJ by the name of Little Louis Vega who was beginning to play freestyle there all the time. Or what was the beginning of freestyle, because it had no name, and it was just the demos of what we and many other groups were recording at the time. And my manager Joey came to us and brought this ex-girlfriend of mine's cousin, because India is the cousin of an ex-girlfriend that I had, that I was dating while I was hanging out in the Devil's Nest. And he brought her over, and I was like, why are you bringing my girl's cousin over here? He goes, because she could sing. And I had no clue. And right outside the Devil's Nest, around 3 o'clock in the morning, she started singing a Luther Vandross record.
Wow.
And I will tell you that my hair stood up, and I was like, I looked at the guys, and I was like, no one is ever gonna hear the three of us sing. They go, why? I'm like, because with that voice, who the hell's gonna want to hear us? Who's gonna want to hear us with that voice? I want to write songs for her. And you know, she's an intimidating voice to sing next to. You know, Ray could tell you, Mark Anthony and I were high school best friends. Ray always used to see me running up and down on my bike with Mark Anthony all the time when we were
skateboard.
Yeah, my bike or my skateboard. You know, you know, he was gonna also be a member of TKA at one point, but it didn't work out because my manager, who was picky, thought Mark was a great vocal talent, but wanted Mark to have the typical Latino look with the goatee, and Mark didn't have no hair on his face at that time. And Mark was mega flaco. Like, if you think he's skinny now, when we were in our teens, he was skinnier. And so we didn't put him in, but we put La India in. And she was with us. One Way Love came out, and then she was right after One Way Love came out, we put out a song called Come Get My Love. Right before we released the title track of the album, which is called Scars of Love. And you'll see her on the cover of Come Get My Love as well. She's in the cover with us. And but she's incredible. She's a phenomenal artist.
Were you guys writing those songs? Because those songs were dope. Did you have part in writing them and creating them? Or were you guys performing them?
The song that got us together was a song called Scars of Love, which the man above me right here doesn't remember, but in one of my skateboard rides up and down the avenue, I caught him on the corner of 106th and 3rd. And he was like, you know, what are you going to do? And I stopped and I said, yo, check out this song that I got. And I started singing it to him. It's so funny that years later, I knew he didn't pay attention, but he came up to me and said, yo, I want you to see something that I got.
Oh, you remember? Wow.
And he goes, I want you to see something I got. And he shows me, he says he got Scars of Love tattooed on him.
Wow.
And I'm like, and he does. The thing is, I felt so honored. First of all, you guys don't understand what that guy means to me. Like, and I'm not gonna get all sobby and get all crazy, but that guy right there is, to me, is everything. Like that guy, I owe him everything. So if I'm here today, and the things that I learned, loyalty, sticking with your crew, you know, holding things down for your people, that guy, that's the guy who taught me right and wrong in the streets in New York City.
Love you, little bro.
And I love his family like if they were my own. And you know, he knows it. He knows that his kids got nothing to worry about. His daughters, his son, they got nothing to worry about as long as I live, because of what he did for me.
That's Uncle K. That's Uncle K. Can I say something now? Can I say something?
Go for yours.
This guy here, this guy. I wasn't his mentor. I was his bodyguard. All right, let's say what it was. Let's say what it was. He would ride around. That was the Justin Bieber of Spanish Harlem, bro. He was Justin Bieber on me. Hey, first of all, happy birthday to my mom. Latin Heritage Month. Latin Heritage Month to him. Big John. You know how we grew up with Big John. Salute to Big John. We grew up with
John. Big John Jordan, the trainer of Amanda Serrano.
Salute to Big John, bro.
Is a guy who is a guy who we've known for most of our lives. Good dude. You know, was there from the beginning of my career and even before, and used to be used to train like. Training has always been part of his life. So when I see Amanda, I know that she's in great hands and that she's gonna do the greatest thing. Because that guy, we were like 15, 16 years old, and that guy was like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes, he was.
Arnold Schwarzenegger of the neighborhood. Like La Viejas be checking out John when we were kids, right?
He was a chick magnet. Hey, listen, to hang out with John, you got the chicks. He was a chick magnet. We used to go to Central Park Pool. Spider, rest in peace. Sammy, Kay, me, and John. And once John led the way, like he said, Arnold Schwarzenegger, body beautiful. That dude was a bad dude. The accomplishments he did now, you would have to go up to see this and go, wow, John did it, bro. Yeah. A street hood like one of us took a female and made her the best Latina fighter of all time.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say, a humble girl, and really nice, man. A sweetheart, man. Really humble person. Smart too, man. Smart. It's you know, I can't say enough. I'm every time she wins, I write her. I go like, congratulations, champ. That you did great. Because I like to see her succeed, and because I feel like she's part of the family. Like she's part of the extended family because we all came from Harlem. So just to see her win, it feels good for me. You know what I mean?
Hey Ray, we got a couple people chimed in on here. First, I'm gonna make a comment about some of the songs that Kay sang. Ori Avila says, "Scars of Love" is a song I play in my car to this very day, especially on long drives. He says, "Thank you, Mom." And even on short drives, he listens to it in the house. And then we have Carmen LeBron gonna say, "Happy birthday to my sweet cuz Mimi, Rip, love you, cuz Rick and Carmen."
That's my mother's baby. That's my mother's baby cousin, man. God bless her. She's all I got left. On my mother's side is her. God bless you, Carmen. Poochie. That's Poochie.
We were talking about Amanda Serrano. It's some little things that I never met her personally, so I can't say that I know her. I've become a fan of her, right? And the reality of it is that I study some of the things and I know some of the people that work in her circle. And she doesn't really have a social media. She has a person who handles her social media, but she doesn't have a social media. She has very limited people that have her phone number because she doesn't have. She's one of those old time fighters like Marvin Hagler when he's go away for training camp. He seclude himself and just focus on fighting and focus on his skill. And Amanda Serrano to me is like a throwback to that time because she disconnects from everything when she's focusing on her fight. And she doesn't tolerate any, people messaging her and hitting her up on social media. Like she's focused on her task. And it's unfortunate a lot of fighters don't adapt to that and learn from the old school. But she's like an old war horse. Like she's just a throwback to, in my opinion, to the way it used to be and the way it should be done. Because if it's not broken, you shouldn't fix it.
Well, let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, it's good that she's like that, because to be honest with you, social media is such a heavy distraction. It's like when you want, like, I'll be honest with you. When I go to the studio to record, I try to shut it off because the addiction of being in the know, because that's all it is. It's you don't want to miss out on anything. You don't want to miss on the first bomb falling in, wherever. You don't want to know that Fulano passed away. You don't want to find out later. El chisme. El bochinche, it's the magnification of that on a regular day, on an everyday basis. So to be able to shut that off, it makes sure that you have that focus where you need to, where you just need to adapt to what you need to do. And that's great that she does that. That's difficult. That's really difficult for a lot of people.
In this age.
Yeah, I mean, viejos and young kids alike. It's like, it's like come on, man. You guys probably fathers too. You got a kid and your kid is like, and you're trying to have dinner and your kid is like, and your kid puts it down, and they put it down for that 1 second, and they take a thing of food, but then turn around and they're, come on, that's bad. That's bad. We give our kids tablets at 3. Here's a tablet. Go play. It's like rough. So imagine for a boxer.
The modern day babysitter.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. But imagine for a boxer. Imagine like if Floyd at the beginning of his career. Let's use Floyd Mayweather, right? Let's say Floyd in the beginning of his career. Imagine if he was distracted by social media on a regular basis. We already know what it started doing later on in his career, because anytime somebody says something, he had to get up and chime in, right? So, but imagine imagine what that would have done to Tyson. How earlier on would Tyson have been distracted as a boxer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm presently a coach, I'm sorry, Angel. Real quick. I'm presently a coach. And when I first opened up my gym here where I currently live in Colombia, I would tell the guy,
in Colombia?
Yeah, I live in Colombia, my brother. Yeah.
Why are you on the phone with us when it's so beautiful out there?
I hear you. But I live in Colombia, and I opened up a gym, and I used to tell my kids, man, leave your phone in the locker. Don't bring it out. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. And lately I had to reaffirm myself with that, because little by little they start taking out the phone between rounds. They're checking about who gave them messages and who's doing this, and they want to do the TikTok, and they want to chatterbox for the TikTok, get the most likes and stuff. And it's crazy how the world's evolved. But somebody like Amanda Serrano, for her to be as diligent and as focused, to not be drawn into that and pulled into that speaks volumes. I mean, the girl is successful because she's convicted to what she wants to do and the goal that she has set.
Bro, I wish that, like, I wish that musicians had trainers. I wish that musicians had trainers that followed us around, that made sure that during that 9 to 5 we were really focused like that. That's incredible, man. I have to commend her on that.
It's personalities, man. Personalities are funny, because you got those personalities that don't thrive with that. But like Mayweather which was a good example, he thrives off of that. He thrives off of the media, whether it's negative, whatever, positive. Everybody who turned into Mayweather, to see if he lost the fight.
Yeah,
they weren't watching to see, him knock somebody, because he was knocking over. They wanted to tune in to see, is this the guy who's going to beat Mayweather? And Mayweather would excel in that. And then you got other people that can get eat up by the media, and and with singers, all that. You got guys like just a throwback. Paul Simon was never in the media, not a lot. One of the best songwriters of all time. He fell back. Who knows if imagine if the media was always in his face. We wouldn't have some of the greatest songs that we've heard from Paul Simon or other writers and stuff.
Mira qué preciosa.
Wow.
But I'm glad that you said that. But you were talking about Mayweather, right? And I love you. And
Exactly.
and how he thrives off the distraction. But think about all the guys who have fought. What are the brothers now that
Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
Yeah, Jake and Logan, they're fighting, and what they do is they get that fight, then they do the social media attack. They get in. That's a new way of getting in your head as a boxer.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Before you didn't. The training camp probably would send you a little message here and there to instigate, and maybe at the weigh-in, you'd get all the shit talking, at the weigh-in. But now the attack is instant,
yeah.
And the attack is constant because it's not just the camp, it's all the followers, and that eso daña la cabeza, eso distrae. That you're not looking at what you're supposed to do. You shut it off, and now you got what you need to do. But while you're focusing on the phone, you ain't gonna get what you need. In my opinion.
You're right. Yeah, Carmen LeBron says here it's an addiction. And then Sakura Armstrong says, yes, sir. She's a trailblazer. Talking about Amanda Serrano. She's going to be fighting in 3 minute, 12 rounds. And the ladies, taking the ladies to the next level. For the ladies, Coach Blue Acevedo says, hey, well, then I'm hooked. Well, because, hold on. She just changed it on me. Because if you guys, my guys, are getting ratings, yeah, they're getting ratings. Because you're right. It's all about social media nowadays. And then Dalia Duran says, hello. I was a big fan. My favorite song was "Move It
Like This."
Yeah, "Move It Like This." Thank you.
Nice one.
Yeah,
nice one.
Dalia Duran is a Latin English translator for Boxing Playhouse. She's the daughter of Roberto Duran.
You know who I now that you talk about translators, who I grew up with was honestly, and you guys know him, Jerry, the translator from most of the fights. Oh my God, why can't I remember his last name? But Jerry,
I know you're talking about.
He's the translator for most of the HBO fights from back in the day. He's always been the translator. Jerry and I grew up together as well in Spanish Harlem. In fact, Jerry and I were in kindergarten together. So I've known Jerry for like the majority of my life. He lived right down the block from me.
Hey, real quick, guys, you're going to chime in, but we went into boxing. We went into all this stuff, but I also want to ask him, all the music and all the things and all the accolades that you've been involved in, you've been a part of movies, your song's been about a theme for The Mask and all that stuff like that. What are you currently working on? You're still in the music business. You managing anybody? You producing songs? What do you got going on?
Right now, I'm celebrating my 30th year of my solo album, not my career. It's my 30th year of my solo album, as K7. So I've been trying to do like an anniversary album that I want to put out for the start of 2024.
Swing Battle Swing.
Yeah, I'm doing an anniversary album for Swing Battle Swing, and so that's what I've been recording mostly. My son goes by the name of J6, and he's and I'm watching what he's doing and supervising what he's doing and trying to be a mentor to my kid. My kid right now.
That's your twin, bro. That's your twin.
Yeah. Right now he's in France. They did a documentary of him out in France, so he's doing showcases out there for the documentary, and I'm promoting some of his stuff. If you guys go on iTunes. J6, like, is just a younger version of me, hairy like I am, and probably wearing a baseball cap just like I am right now.
Doing freestyle? What kind of music? Is it freestyle?
Nah, it's rap. He's a rapper. He's a rapper. So straight up rap, and he's pretty good. And honestly, I'm supervising and making sure that my nephew, Ray's son, Sonny Chulo, is on the straight and narrow and doing this thing, and he's on his way. He
got skills. He got skills.
He got more. I'm gonna say this. I've seen, and you mentioned some of the great ones. You mentioned some of the great ones earlier when you were talking about yourself and the people that you know. But this kid, he's something special.
Fire.
He's something real special.
Sonny Chulo.
Like people don't understand. Sonny is fucking special.
Bananas. Just like my other son with his hands.
Y yo te voy a decir una cosa, le tienen miedo. The other ones out there, the ones that are famous, le tienen miedo because
they scared of him.
He's that good.
Wow.
Hey, shout out to Fat Joe FJ 560.
Okay.
Happy Heritage Month, man. That nigga looked out for my son. And don't care who don't like it.
Ahí vamos.
Okay. Let me ask you a question now. So your son J7, you said?
J6.
J6. How do people, we have a few minutes left on the show, right? People want to see him on iTunes. We have a lot of viewers. How do people?
He's on YouTube too. He's on YouTube.
So okay, so YouTube. What? How can they look him up? On social media, on iTunes, on YouTube, and all that.
J6 Official. J6 Official is his iTunes. He also has South Shore 6, and the same thing on YouTube as well. But on iTunes, you could just find them under J6, and then you'll see his face, and you'll be like, oh, he looked like his father, and you'll crack up at how much he looks like me. And even after the show, tune in, go on, go search him on YouTube. You'll see him. You'll laugh. You're like, damn, he really looked like his dad.
Hey, I hate to tell you,
lo cagué.
Hey, I hate to tell you, he sounds smarter than you, man.
Oh no, listen. The greatest thing is that you and I make twins, and they end up being chips off the old block. And that's what I will say.
They're supposed to be better, right? They're supposed to be better than the first generation.
Absolutely.
When the funniest thing when last year Sonny was with me I did Lehman College, and my son was there, and since Jason was a baby, he hasn't been around Sonny. So when I saw them together, all I could sit there is like I had a lump in my throat, because it's me looking at me and Ray.
Word.
Wow.
It's like it's looking at us like when we were kids. That's it. It's just like, and the bond that they got is like the same thing. It's like whatever you like, they'll do whatever for each other. So I'm proud to see that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's his bodyguard too. I'm just saying, bro.
K7, you were an essential part of TKA.
Yes.
Legendary group in freestyle. Probably, I would say, the most prolific group in freestyle history. There's no other group that did more than TKA, period. Point blank.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My humble opinion.
Thank you.
I'm not even gonna get into the why you broke up and stuff like that, because all groups, I don't know why, but all groups always, even the Beatles broke up. Not gonna get into that. But what was the whole thing about you becoming? What's the 7? What does that mean? What's the name mean?
All right. So when I was in TKA, I went by the name of KL. KL started off, I wanted to write graffiti as a kid, and at the time, there was the 5% Nation, and there was Zulus and Rocksteady, and I was around those people all the time, and I wanted to be cool. So I didn't break dance, so I didn't have like some crazy name like Fast Feed or like I didn't have those type of names. So I was like Ray calls me Luisito. I was just Luisito, and you can't make that sound cool. You get what I mean? You can't make that sound cool unless you got a scar on your face, and Ray could tell you that wasn't me. And so I was looking for a name. I was looking for something that I could do. Now I used to have my, you know, my little nursery raps that I used to say, and you know, I used to be Loco Louie. Everybody used to think I was, you know, funny. So my friend said that loco shit got to go. Like, you got to find another name. And one day they were on 96th Street between 3rd and Lexington. There's a school right there, PS 198, and you'd enter the park from two different corners. Like, you could enter to 96th Street, or you could enter through 95th. And one of my friends was in one corner, and my friend was in the other. And you know, I was in one corner, and he was in the other. And my friend was in the park on the basketball court writing graffiti up on a wall. So he says, "Yo, what do you want me to write?" I said, "Just write KL," right? Because I was going to start calling myself Crazy Louie. So what he wrote, as opposed to writing, you know, crazy, he put KAYEL, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's my name. That's what I'm going to call myself. I'm going to write it like that." And when K7 came about, I wanted to do something that wasn't freestyle. We were originally a rap group that couldn't really rap, and when freestyle started dying off, I wanted to go back to doing hip hop music. And I said, what am I going to call myself? Everybody's going to know me, KL, as the guy that sang freestyle, because I was the lead vocalist of the group at that time. And I said, what should I call myself? I want to change it. So I took the L for KL and I flipped it upside down, and it became a 7. So that's basic. Take the L, flip it upside down, and it's a 7. And then the story that I always tell is that my grandparents had 7 kids, which they actually did, and it's a tribute to my family. So Figueroa, which you know is always, the F for Figueroa is always written backwards like a 7 anyway, with a slash in the middle. Wow. So it worked for me.
I thought it was the dice. I thought it was the dice. When you threw the dice, K7, I thought you were throwing dice, bro.
Well, I'm going to use that story now because that sounds a lot cooler than the one that I made up.
I like yours.
I like the family story. The 7.
I like the family story.
That was cool.
I was going to say, it must be a Puerto Rican thing, because my grandparents had 7 kids too. You know what I mean? They had 6 girls and 1 boy.
Yeah, my grandparents had 2 boys and 5 girls. 5 girls. The oldest one right now is, my oldest aunt is 95.
Wow.
95.
Wow.
God bless.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Freestyle is not a thing, but it hasn't died out because a lot of people are going on tours. All the concerts are still selling out. Actually, right now this month there's a freestyle concert coming out here in Orlando, and a lot of people. We were just in Orlando. We did the Amway. Is it Amway Arena? I think we just did the Amway Arena. Amway out there, and we're going out to Miami. We do Miami, the Hard Rock in Miami, in the Seminole Hard Rock in Miami on November 17th. We're going to be in Atlantic City on November 11th. We're going to be at the Westchester County thing on next weekend. Next weekend I'm up there, and I'm doing the Putnam County Golf Course on Friday. So it's still going. People still
hold on,
bro. I work more now than I did as a kid.
Wow, listen, my brother, you were right. It is called the Amway Arena now. My bad. Yeah. It is called that. So you were correct. Yeah. You were correct. So you heard it here first, man, that my man's going to be in Miami next weekend, right? Yeah. You're going to be all over Florida. You were just at the Amway Arena. And you're going to be up in the NY area, Westchester County and all that good stuff like that. So you got a lot of things coming up.
Yeah, got a lot.
Tell them about Puerto Rico, okay? Puerto Rico.
I just came back from Puerto Rico. I did Puerto Rico last Saturday, I spend the week there in the motherland. Me fui para Rincón. I was driving all around the island.
Beautiful.
And then I capped the weekend off by performing in San Juan and, in el Caribe Hilton. I had a, which it felt great because I'm home. And then I had some of the great original reggaeton DJs came out to see DJ Negro and DJ Adam, which were, some of the pioneer reggaeton DJs of Puerto Rico came out to see me, and I salute them, and it was great. I was brought out there by Baron Lopez. If anyone who knows Baron Lopez is the major remixer and the major mixer for El Gran Combo for their music, and he started out with Bico C.
Wow, remember him?
Yeah, and was the first guy to bring freestyle to Puerto Rico. So shout out to him.
I have a comment. This guy, Ori Avila, always asks the most amazing questions. He always watches our show. He says, what was the first place that you went to on a tour that changed the way you looked at the world and life?
It has to be, first of all, it had to be Japan. When we went to Japan, it changed everything for me because it was a culture shock. Because I didn't realize that my music was going to reach so many people in another place. And I went out as an opening act for another group. I went out as an opening act with TKA for Information Society.
Information Society, yeah.
Right? Information Society, if you guys know the classic freestyle record Running, or if you guys know 80s pop music, they sang that song. I want to know what you're thinking.
That beat was legendary. Doom, doom.
Yeah.
Doom,
Planet Rock.
doom.
It's Planet Rock. It's a love song over Planet Rock. And
absolutely.
And I went out there with them, and first of all, when they see someone of color, they don't know how to act because they don't see people of color. So all of us in this chat right here are like the different colors of Benetton, right? Yeah. So we being colored men, right? Colored Latino men, they don't see us as Latino. They see us as black because they're not my complexion.
4 shades of black. 4 shades of black.
4 shades of black. So when they see you, they're shocked. They come and they touch your hair. They want to know what your hair is made of. They want to know if
is it a rug?
Yeah, they want to know if it's rug because they don't understand that. And that was a culture shock to me, to be out there, to see they have this thing called Tokyo Tower, which is a duplicate of the Eiffel Tower. It's an exact duplicate, but it's all red. It's red, absolute like bright red, like the logo. That's the color of the tower. It's Tokyo Tower. The way they drive over there, the cab drivers drive with white gloves. They drive with white gloves because they don't want to do it. The technology that they had, the screens that they had for their advertisements, we are now getting those type of screens, but they had that in 80. They had that in 87. I remember that I was walking on the sidewalk. I was a few blocks away from my hotel, and I just would go out and venture out, and I'm walking through the sidewalk, and here's the road, and here's me walking, and as I walk, the road is here. They have a screen that's playing cars racing down the avenue while cars are here. And the weirdest thing is that as the cars that are racing on the screen look as clear as the cars that are walking in the, that are driving down the street. And as soon as it would reach the corner, that video would keep playing because the screen would be wrapped around the building.
Wow.
And I stood there like, we had nothing. They had, remember how we used to put the we used to. This was '86, and they were already putting the chips into their phones. They were rocking the chips in their phones. They already had, you know, flap phones. They already have fold-up phones. They had like cellular phones prior to us having it.
What country is this? What country is this?
Japan.
Japan's crazy. Like we technologically, like, you know, we're not advanced. They are more advanced than us.
Over there, I mean, I spent a little bit of time over there from boxing, and I was on this bus. I was jam packed, right? And they won't look at your face. They think that, like, I asked this guy why people act like that. They're like, they think that that's your domain, that's your space, and they don't want to invade it. And they're like serious germaphobes.
Yo, did you realize while you were out there that there's no crashed cars, that there's not a dent, a ding, there's not a dent or a ding on a car.
Yeah,
because if your car is dented, it's a reflection on you and your family. So if you hit your door and there's a ding, you're going to get rid of it.
No, it was insane.
That's why I'm telling you that cab drivers are driving, or cab drivers
white gloves
on the white gloves on the steering wheel. Like, what?
I just attribute that to them being germaphobes, because they were like not touchy and stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
Yo, it's bugged out. Like, the women. Now this is bugged out. Think of if a Latina would do this. The women walk behind the men.
Yeah.
Wait, listen. So say she's your boss. She walks behind you. A boss would lead. A boss would lead, right?
I like that.
Listen,
oh my God, you'll get in trouble for that.
Anytime I see a woman walking in front of me and she's faster, I kick the back foot and I'm like make a trip, and I go, nah, I'm joking. That was a joke. That was a joke.
You stupid. You're gonna get shot for that. Yo, lady.
That was a joke. But yeah, you just trip them and just keep moving. Nah,
to me, when I was out there, it was a shock. So Japan. The next thing is when I went. The other place is Hawaii. Hawaii will change your vision of how you look, how you look at the world, because the world is really beautiful outside this country. There's a lot more beauty. I'm not going to say that there's not beauty here. There's a lot of places here in America that are beautiful, but the only other place in the world that I'd rather be, if it's not Puerto Rico, is Hawaii.
Nice.
France will make you think that you're looking at like a postcard, because everything is France is a walking museum.
It's great.
France is a walking museum. Germany is dope. Amsterdam is the get high capital of the world. But I will let you know that beauty wise, Hawaii is a place that it'll take your breath away. And believe it or not, for the four of us, there's coquis there, so you would feel right at home.
It's the only other place that has coquis.
That's the only other place.
And they want to get rid of them, and they want to send them back to us. And trust me, the island is I was on the island, and they were telling me that there's an animal, some type of animal that's beginning to kill the coquis off.
Chupacabra.
So there's less and less coquis on the island. So if Hawaii doesn't want them, send them back to us. We'll take them. Right?
Yeah, the chupacabra started in Puerto Rico, man. It's killing all the coquis.
Hey, Ray, let's ask him that question we want to ask about that certain person.
Yeah.
Man, he might have to do this with that. He might do the Mayweather.
Go ahead.
Rosie Perez, man, how she's doing?
I haven't seen. Well, last time I saw her, I'll be honest with you. Last time I saw her, I dated her back in the day. Great lady. But last time I saw her, I was fixing my computer on 14th Street, and they had a Mac repair shop out of 14th Street, And I walked in with my thing. I walked in with my computer, and I'm standing there online. And little did I know, there she is right next to me. And I haven't seen her since we dated. She looked at me like I had 3 heads. I was like, ah.
You don't remember when you told me, you said, Ray, I'm stressed out. I was like, what's the matter? You came to the house. You look white. I was like, what happened, Kay? This is my little brother right here. He goes, nah, man, I don't know what to do. And then you let me hear the voicemail. And I heard somebody like this. Man, you little man. And she was talking through her nose and she was pissed off. I don't want to say what she was saying, but holy shit. I said, yo, that sounds like Rosie Perez. He was like, yeah, I'm dating her. I was like, Kay, what you did to her, bro? She pissed off.
I was a kid. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Hey, I got something to say here. We say we got Shakira Armstrong saying, hey, listen, watch it, Angel. I'm your boss. Am I stepping on the heels and all that stuff like that, right? And then you have Coach Lou Acevedo say, hey, Sakura, don't step on my heels too, you know, laughing out loud, talking about that Japan thing. Listen, my brother, I'm not going to keep you all day. I know you got your daughter. It's late in NY, you know, and you got to put the kids to bed and all that. I want to first say, before the guys get in and chime in on this, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for spreading the word on music and the Latin influence behind it. Taking the time to talk to us about boxing. God bless you in all your endeavors, you and your children, your son, J6. Check out the album, cop it on iTunes and all that stuff. I'm going to let my boys say goodbye, and I want to thank you once again.
Could I say a couple of things before I hang up? First of all, to me, I just want to talk boxing. Boxing to me has always been the greatest sport ever. I've been a fan of boxing since I was a kid. That guy up there, again, is one of my biggest influences and the first guy to introduce me to one of my favorite boxers of all time, which was Mark Breland. Mark Breland was the best man at Ray's wedding. When I met him,
you were supposed to be the best man. Remember that?
No, but trust me, I was so starstruck to see Mark in front of me because I really liked him as a boxer. That I was like, I didn't care. I was like, I'm good. If he's here, I'm good. I mean, Ray and I grew up with Camacho and Camacho's brothers and everything like that. And it was different. Like, yes, Camacho was great, but because we knew him, it didn't feel like he was a boxer to us. It was because it was just Hector from the neighborhood, right? But Ray was always one to make sure, because I wasn't into any other sports. The only sport that I really ever cared about, go downstairs, baby. The only sport that I ever really cared about was boxing. So, I love Sugar Ray and I love, Duran and I love Hearns and I love Tyson. I'm a fan of those guys. I've always been a major boxing fan. I'm sorry, my little twin over here is
Get boya.
Good, baby.
So I just want to tell you guys that thank you, man. Thank you for still shining a light on the sport of champions, because with all this MMA stuff, and I'm not gonna say that I don't like that, but I'm saying people forget the greatness of boxing, and to keep it in people's minds is really important. Ray, I love you to death. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow morning anyway, so I gotta
tell him something. I gotta say something before we go, because he hit me with the tattoo. What he don't know is that was the hardest tattoo I got, bro. I started bleeding a lot, and I lost my brother and my sister back to back. Gigi and Manny, rest in peace, right? But what he got to remember, I put that here because my sister was dying of breast cancer. I rushed to the hospital. He came with me. Remember that, Kay? My sister couldn't believe at that time he was popping. When he was there next to me, she goes, hi, brother. And when she sees him, she lost it. She started crying. Oh, my God, it's K7. Oh, my God. She goes, you don't understand. Scars of Love was my song. I used to clean the whole house with Fabuloso and listen to Scars of Love.
So that tattoo, love is pain.
I had to put it on my arm, man, for them. And I want to say something to all of y'all. Looking at this right here, Latinos in the house. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not gonna forget this day, bro. I love all of y'all.
Go ahead, Ainge.
Yo, Mr. K7. Yo, I just wanted to ask you one question, because these are like, again, I don't know if I asked this before, but I got to get this in my brain, because I am a fan, and I grew up on this music. Not trying to date myself or trying to date you.
It's
but,
cool.
You know, huh?
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
It's real. It's real. I grew up on this, and these were like, you know what? It was like when you starting out. I was, a youngster when freestyle was coming out and stuff, and you'd like somebody and they didn't like you or they break up with you, and then I listened to, Scars of Love or something. I'd be like, yeah. And I was just like, I just threw at it, yeah. I got another now, and I'm going all over the place, but this is me. But who wrote these lyrics? Was it you? Was it the other guys? That was you? Yo. Serious?
Ray could tell you. I was always on 3rd Avenue, and I was always trying to talk to some girl, and if they turned me down, I'd be like, well, here goes. You broke my heart? Okay. And,
Yo, let me tell you, you helped me get through my teenage years, bro.
Thank you, man.
That
means a lot, man. Thank you so much.
For real. Yo, it was an honor. Love you, K.
Yo, louder than love. One more.
Louder than love. Yo,
louder than love. One more.
I was painting the house. The outside. Yo, all I did was put your whole playlist.
He got to know this one, Angel.
And that's what I was going off with. You can just paint in the house to that.
Angel, I got one more with that song. This is before it came out. I think it was in the summer. Yeah, I'm in a telly with a shorty. Yeah, I'm putting the radio on, about to get my groove on. All of a sudden, the song comes out, and it's Louder Than Love, and I'm like, wow, that's a nice song. And I'm there grooving, with the chick and all that. I knew that. All Nick, I gotta say it, yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm like, yo, that's K. I jumped out of bed, forgot where I was at, jumped out of bed. Yo, that's my little brother. And she's like, what happened? What are you doing? I'm like, nah, man, listen, you don't understand. That's my little brother.
Roadblock.
And I had to listen to the whole song before I jumped back in bed, okay? Salute, my little guy.
Love you,
man. Listen, guys, man. Boxing Playhouse, K7. Security, you want to chime in real quick and say goodbye to our guy right here? Hello? Huh? Sakura?
Hey. Thank you, K7. I'm so sorry about the name. I'm trying to battle this cold.
It's okay, baby. No worries.
Crazy.
No worries.
Saki, that's his comeback name, K9. Now he got to rap and be K9 now.
I'm thinking about another boxer. Hey, he could have been a boxer.
There you go.
But I just want to say thanks for coming on the show. And also, please send Ray some of your other dates that you'll be in Florida so we can go check you out.
Oh, for sure.
I will.
Peace, my brother.
Peace.
Happy birthday, Minerva, again, my mom.
Call me Mom.
Playhouse. We out.
Happy birthday, Mom.
I'm very physical when I'm lyrical. So bad it now with medical, something critical. It's gonna take a miracle. Bright lights for some spiritual, written down like biblical. I finally reached the pinnacle. Yeah. Welcome to the house, the one they talking about. Word of mouth, the Boxing Playhouse, without a doubt.